Have we gone too far with body positivity? Yeah. It's stupid. It started off as normal. Healthy-sized women not comparing themselves with airbrushed, unrealistic beauty standards that were perpetuated in the media. For some reason it got hijacked to almost satirical levels to include the clinically obese. It has gone too far. My frustration comes to what became of plus-size folks. I am not obese. I am about 212 pounds and 5 feet 6 inches. But growing up I was always chubby and I've always had a large frame anyway. Broad shoulders, broad ribs, etc. I am not in a place where I think I am thin or fat. But I do consider myself plus size to accommodate for my shape and frame. There was an influencer on Instagram that made a post basically calling people like me mini fats, or mid-size, saying that we are privileged and don't deserve clothing recognition since people like her, 330 plus lbs, don't have as many clothing options. I thought the point of the body positivity movement was to make everybody comfortable in their skin. And now they're putting other people down for not being as fat as them? Ultimately, my thing is I cannot change people's bodies, their weight, so I don't concern myself with anyone other than myself. If you want to be obese, I can't stop you. That is your personal prerogative. But to put down people for not being fat enough? Someone like me with a curvy body doesn't deserve clothing options? It's frustrating for someone who had to grow up understanding that my build will not change, and then learning to love it, then seeing these posts. Anyway, there's my 2 cents. In my day-to-day, fat people are still ridiculed, laughed at, and damn near every guy and girl I know seems obsessed with fitness, even the ones who aren't even all that fit. So, no, I don't think this is a problem. Anti-body shaming culture abides by simple logic. It's always better to be supportive than to be mean. Supportive doesn't mean you're fine the way you are. Supportive means you're doing your duty as a friend to let them know you're willing to help. I have a very obese friend, and whenever we catch up and talk I always tell him that I'm a phone call away when he's ready to get healthier, and that I worry about his weight. You don't have to be an enabler to not be a dickhead. I'd welcome a change to more body neutrality. When you see woke TikToks about, if you're not attracted to obese people, you're fat-phobic, face with rolling eyes. Yeah, it has gone too far. It's hurting people who believe what activists and other influencers say. There is an undeniable link between obesity and a variety of health issues. I don't know if outrage bait posted to Reddit reflects an actual wave of that sort of thinking. I haven't really seen it in the real world much, so I'm not sure. I still see exercise, fitness being promoted constantly. I'm a little biased because I live in a country with very few obese people. If I lived in the US or the UK, I might have a different view on this issue. I have lived in the US for a while and I remember how absurdly fat everyone was. I think for me, it comes down to the question of whether someone knows what they're doing or not. Like, you're saying that people don't work out enough. If you're in the US, that's certainly very true. But maybe people just don't want to work out. I mean, there are also people who drink alcohol or smoke a lot. A ton of people on Reddit brag about their weed smoking and trivialize its dangers. So, clearly, not everyone on this planet wants to be healthy. I'm physically handicapped from birth, and one thing I've learned in my life is that most able-bodied folks take their good health for granted. I don't know what to say about this. I think it's crazy because, in my opinion, your health is the most important thing you've got in your life. But I don't get to make this judgment for other people. If someone wants to eat like crazy and die of a heart attack at age 45, that's their right. What troubles me more is that most people in America or the UK are really badly educated on healthy eating. But that's not their fault. It should be a bigger part of the lesson plan at school. I remember when a certain celebrity publicly shamed skinnier people. When she held a doll model based on another celebrity's body and said that it's not how healthy bodies look like, and she hopes next time we can release a doll that has a normal body. Now imagine all the young girls who happen to be skinny, who are most likely already bullied for being walking bones, hangers, ill anorectics, etc., and who physically can't gain weight no matter how much they eat. Listening to that, when your favorite singer tells to the whole world that your body type isn't normal, and she proceeds to call herself body positive, literally shaming people for their appearance. SMH. Yes. It's gone too far. It started as a movement for regular-sized women that didn't want to look up to anorectic-looking, photoshopped posters of superstars. Though I feel like it's almost solely US problem. As where I live we don't have as many obese PPL. The ones talking about positivity are just curvy but definitely not much overweight, and who were bullied for it just because they didn't look like said posters. Remember when Kate Upton was the definition of curvy? I completely agree actually. Until the food changes, our bodies will continue to be collectively unhot. I eat veggies and work out. And I don't eat things that are heavily processed. But in America it's in everything. There are food companies who do not sell food. Real food is expensive here and many families don't have time between their 2 minimum wage jobs to prepare it anyway. So shaming people may have its place where intense gluttony is concerned. But in the long run it solves nothing. There's never been a revolution waged with full bellies. They've figured out how to keep us full and unfed. So enjoy your Big Macs everyone. Chemicals to satisfy an addiction to chemicals. I find that this problem is very much American. Nobody even talks about the concept of body positivity in my country. I think in countries such as the US where the average person is overweight, it makes sense to normalize it because it's just the reality of things. Whether or not it should be a reality is a different story though. I don't get why it's anyone's business. Being bigger or fat has become more normalized for sure. But who cares? It's their body. If they don't want to work out or be healthy, they don't have to. If they feel comfortable and happy in their body, just leave it alone. We all make choices for our own bodies, skinny or not. This is such a nuanced topic and I highly suggest reading More Than a Body to gain some insight. I don't think it has gone too far. The fact is that if you love your body, no matter how obese you may be, that you will treat it with more respect. And that respect is often expressed in eating healthier and exercising more often. On the other hand, I do think that influencers have taken everything too far. I'm getting really sick of people trying to make themselves famous because they love their body, or they can pose for photos, or whatever. Especially when in reality these people are shallow and not nearly as happy as they make themselves out to be online. I agree. It's one thing to have self-confidence and support one another. But if the choices you're making are unhealthy, I'm not going to support that. I'm not going to call you fat. But I'm not going to say, you look great, either. If someone is smoking, we don't support that, because it's unhealthy. But obesity is just as, if not even more unhealthy. Don't bring it up, saying, you look terrible. You need to lose weight. If they ask your opinion, gently and honestly tell them, I love you. And that's why I'm telling you this. You need to make some changes so that you are healthy and can be with me for a long time. I'll help you. Let's do this together. People want others to stand next to them, not behind them pushing or in front of them pulling. Next to them, supporting. I just don't get why people care how anyone chooses to live their life if it doesn't hurt anyone else. Being obese or a smoker doesn't affect me. Only you. So do you. And body positivity isn't about glorifying obesity. It's about not hating yourself and still seeing yourself as a person of value and worth despite being obese. Unless you're that person's close family member or their MD, you have no idea what physical or mental issues they may be dealing with. And unless you're perfect, bad-mouthing and bullying people just makes you look like a dollar hole. You were right. Like all things with good intent meant to raise awareness and effect a change among how we see a healthy body. This movement is no different. Sadly, those who refuse to take any self-responsibility have become the loudest and most prominent, which ends up causing harm to those with legit issues.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.